guns in this game. So yeah, like I was explaining in this stream, let's go right here. So normally you're not going to find Yakuhai back for the Dora in Ho-Oh, mainly because, well, in like, you know, higher, just like regular play, mainly because you can't expect people to drop it into there, right? So normally if you do have a pair of the Dora, you won't usually call like Ryanman stuff. You might have like a triplet of the Dora, that's one other thing. But usually if you have a pair, you'll try to go for like a closed, like reach your hands, get a Yaku, and then wait on something else aside from the Dora, because it's easier to come out than the Dora itself. Now, once you get into like, you know, upper Tokujo and Ho-Oh, it's kind of more of the line of thinking of, well, because that's the case, throwing the Hatsu isn't actually that dangerous to like an open hand, because unless they have like, you know, a double Yakuhai wait, chances are they're not waiting on the Dora with the Yakuhai back. And then in Ho-Oh you have the meta of that meta, which is like, alright, so people think that I'm not going to do this, so I'm going to do this. And then everything explodes. So yeah. Once I got this, it's like, yeah, I might as well. And it's like, surprise! What? Yakuhai back? Dora 3? Similarly, this hand was also really weird. So this guy started off 2 Sozu, 4, 7, there was a 5 right there. Okay, that's pretty red flag. Alright, so just this right here looks already like quite potentially Honitsu. Then they pull this and they drop this. Okay. Then they drop Hatsu from hand and they call their own that and then drop this. So normally I would be like, this kind of looks like Honitsu, but they don't have any of the Pinzu tiles, and the Pinzu also has the Dora, which leads me to believe, okay, maybe this actually isn't Honitsu. And then it's like, see, the other two people are like, okay, let's see, drops Suji of that. I guess that's okay. It's walled off. Right there. This person also doesn't think it's a Honitsu. They're like, whatever, 5 Mon. Even if they have overflow, it's probably not Honitsu. They're probably not ready for it even. Surprise! It's actually Honitsu! They never had any Pinzu to begin with. And it's like, wow. So much shock. Yeah. But yeah, that happens sometimes. Similarly, this same situation happened, where is it? Think about right here. Or is it in this hand? So yeah, like, this guy also, it's like, if you look at his discards, like, going, and then, like, what is that? 9 Manzu. It almost looks like these are also, like, Honitsu discards as well. He started with this, he called this later. Drops, like, the 5, this 8, the 3 pin, the 9 Mon later on, the 5 pin also. And so it's like, oh, yeah, Honitsu. But it's like, no, this looks pretty early on. It's kind of suspicious. It could be Honitsu, but considering that this guy just needs, like, a meh hand to, like, you know, not be over me and, to be over me in Oras, like, it's probably not Honitsu, if I had to guess. And of course, in this case, it actually wasn't Honitsu. It tried to be, and he got the Takumi on the Itsu, which is kind of nice. But yeah, he gave up on that dream and went for the immediate Tenpai. Alright, so let's check out some notes. East 1-0, first turn and 5th turn. So on the first turn here, normally I would keep, one second, let me open up window. Normally I would keep 1 Sozu here over the south, and, or in any of the other tiles I have, or I would throw this over these tiles, because these are all Yakuhai tiles, and then this one right here is just like a lone 1 Sozu. But I have a 1, 4, 5, 6 shape, which means if I get the 3, it's not that bad, and keeping the 1 So round for that might be okay. But I guess even if I do get the 3 and I get like the improvement of it, which is drawing like a 4, a 5, or a 7 Sozu, The 1 Suzu actually doesn't do that much right there. But if I do get a 3 Suzu, I'm keeping it no matter what. And if I get a 2 Suzu, I actually might keep that around connected to that shape. So maybe I should just go ahead and throw the 1 Suzu here. Might not be that bad. Okay, and then on this hand, 5's turn. So at this point, I also have I now have the 3 in a row shape. I don't really need this one right here, but my last shape is technically still kind of up in the air. I could use this as a shape, and then this is 2 shapes, and then that would be fine. But yeah, if I get the 2 so, that does open my options to get more pairs outside of this. So probably dropping 8 right here isn't that bad. If I do drop south, though, I guess it's not that bad either, especially if this person is potentially going for Honitsu. They might need to call like a Yakuai tile. So keeping Yakuai tiles around when someone's going for something suspicious is not exactly safe. Unless, of course, they're like 3 out. So maybe dropping southward here is okay. Plus, it's still pretty early on. My only fear outside of that is I would have nothing for the dealer if they decide to like reach next turn. But it's only like the 5th turn, so maybe south right here is okay actually. Or just go ahead and drop the 1 so, but yeah. If I do keep around the 1 so and I do get 2 so, then that's really nice because it becomes like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It could even technically upgrade to Itsu, or more likely just be used as like my 3-sided pairweight. But I guess I don't really need that either. Plus, if we look on the board, there's already 2 2-sos out, so that's kind of unlikely as well. So maybe dropping 1 so here is better, but meh. Honitsu on our right, dealer on our left. Wakannai. Yeah, I could go either way on this one. And then later on, I talked about how even though this seemed kind of like suspicious Honitsui, even with some overflow, it doesn't actually seem like Honitsu at this point, mainly because I don't see any Pinzu, and that's pretty important, specifically because the Dora is in Pinzu. So if you have like tiles around the Dora, you're usually going to keep it. And so even though they are 2 open right here, it's like, yeah, probably not. Same thing, like 5 Mons over here, 9 Mons over here. Like, these 2 guys also kind of got under the impression of, like, it's probably not Honitsu. So that was a bit of a surprise. I guess there are hands like that where you just have, like, no, you don't draw literally any of the Pinzu tiles. Alright. Next up, East 2, 11th turn, and Ricci. 11th turn? Oh, this one. So, do I take the immediate reach with Ricci only on the 7 pin? I didn't like that. Mainly because the 5 Sozu is like all out right now. I can't see any of the red 5s either, so if I do reach right here, this is just asking to be attacked by someone with a Mongon coming after me. My hand is worthless, and even if you're a dealer, that's not... It does help a little, but at this point, everyone's hands are already pretty developed, and so if they do have a Mongon, like, you can't BS them. So, yeah. I kind of like 8-pin, look at the second options here. And then, going around, I get to Tenpai again, with waiting on the 5 Sozu. Now, if I Ricci on this, it's actually Ricci Dora, potentially a red Dora, which can go up to 7,700 points. With Sumo, it's at least 2,000 all, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 draws left. People are a little bit more likely to push some tiles later on, but of course they're probably not going to throw the Dora, regardless of what I do. If I do Ricci with this, I don't have that many safe tiles to my discards. 6 pin is going to be coming out, and that'll give 6 pin and maybe 3 pin Suji. And so it might be beneficial in the case that people might need to fold in order to get to Tenpai, because there's not that many tiles that they can like work around with, especially since my discard pile is not that much information. So considering that, I kind of actually like Ricci here. Even though, like, either way, if I stay Dama or not, the chances of me winning this hand from someone's discard is non-existent, basically. If I Ricci, they could technically drop it, but they probably won't. If I don't Ricci, they're probably still not going to drop it in this late of the game with, like, you know, like, no other information, unless they have like something really interesting in their hand that they can basically discount all of anyone waiting on like the 5-so. But of course they can't because I'm waiting on it right here. So yeah, Ricci at this point might not be that bad. So see, this person's right here. It's like 9 pin Suji. That's like safe enough. East 7 mon. Nice Mugiris. And then they were able to stop it with a Kawashite. Oh. All right. Next up, East 3-2. Yeah. This is the one that I was kind of talking about of like, well, what do I do here? Should I actually drop the Hatsu here? In the normal case, you're not going to have Hatsu back, but like, especially with like a 5-6 Manzu, like Chi like that, like if you had that option of like taking a reach with like, you know, a double-sided weight like that, compared to Ching that, and then waiting on Hatsu back, usually it's no question of like, yeah, of course you reach, what are you doing? So like this is like, yeah, this like just blew my mind right here. Yeah, this one was just like, wow, what is life? I don't know Mahjong. Yeah, this one is pretty interesting. Take a picture of this. Yeah, the meta of the meta. Haku back. It's like stepping back in time, calling Chi and being like, yeah. That's kind of interesting. I guess it's like, especially, I guess it makes a little bit more sense considering their points, because they're like, well, I'm the dealer, I'm hella first place, I'm not going to be dropping the door anyway, I might as well do this. Now if anyone else drops the door, they get punished for it, and if I sumo it, well, I get higher ahead, and if last place happens to drop it, then the game will immediately end. So I guess it makes more sense, since they're like giant point gap, that they can just bully other people. Pretty interesting, though. Alright, next up. East 4-0, 7th turn, and Tonpon. If you notice, I went, like, Yakitori this game. Seventh turn. Ooh. Yeah, I like shop. Yep. Yeah, actually, So they might be going for Honitsu, which is why I'm like, maybe I shouldn't actually keep this West around, because they might just pull it anyway. But if they are going for Honitsu, what suit are they going in? Yeah, that looks weird. They just look like very close to Tenpai as opposed to Honitsu. And since they are looking close to Tenpai, that's why I decided I should probably just, like, you know, get rid of the 5 mon right here, and and just kind of like discard it while he can. West is still not out, but it's pretty. Generally, it's a lot safer than the alternative. So yeah, it's getting into the danger zone right here as far as like the round is concerned. So like slimming down our shapes, I think is pretty good right here. We do have 3 pairs if we do drop the 5 mon, which is still kind of good because if we have the east, then we want to have 2 pairs to maximize what we can do. So dropping 5 mon here doesn't seem that bad. But if we do keep it around, we draw the 4 mon, we can then drop the 3 so, and then we can have a good weight if we do draw this. So it's not that bad either. So uncertain of middle game choices like this. Let's see. So if we do drop the 5, what all do we really lose? I guess the force mon drop is a pretty significant one though that we lose because then we're stuck with the 3 mon, 4 4 6 pin. One of them has to be completed, but 3 mon is already 1 dead. So that's kind of hard. 4 pin, 6 pin is also might be pretty interestingly hard. 5 pin has 3 left. 4 pin doesn't actually seem that bad though. So yeah, maybe actually 5 mon is kind of good here. But I can go either way. 5 mon or Sha. What do I do in the game? 5 mon? Get rid of it while I can. And at this point, it was also like, okay, they just had overflow for potential what looks like to be Honitsu. Am I willing to risk the Sha? Normally, probably not, but considering that if they do win this hand, I'm going to be very sad because my only friend will be gone. I decide, like, if I'm going to risk it, I need to risk it, like, right now. If I wait till later, then that's already too late, even if I do get into Tenpai. Home that right there. Go. 9 so. It was actually a cheap hand. Unless the 7 came out, then it would be a very scary hand. Yeah. So much uncertainty. Alright, and then South 1-0, 7th turn. Should I go ahead and drop the 5 mon since I already have 5 blocks? I thought not. Mainly because 4 mon's the Dora, and I don't have any value with this hand. It'll most likely become Richinomi. So that's why I'm like, instead I should drop the South or the Chun. I should probably drop the Chun before the South, though. Eat. Then this happened, I'm like, oh, I'm dead. And then luckily, they dealt for me. Yeah, they just couldn't win a hand later on, which made it very sad. Alright, and that's all the notes I have for this game, so I'll be jumping into queue again, so see you around in 5 minutes, and thanks for watching.